Today in the pathology lab, we will be examining the gross pathology of a breast specimen. We will start off with the description with measurements of the breast specimen, followed by sampling. This is a right mastectomy specimen showing the ellipse of skin, a sliced portion of the breast, and the nipple region. Dye was previously injected to identify the sentinel lymph node. To orientate, this is the axillary tail, the lateral margin, the medial margin, the superior and inferior margin. We will now flip over the specimen to look at the posterior surface. The posterior margin is inked black, superior inked green, and inferior inked yellow. The breast can also be divided into quadrants, namely the upper outer quadrant, lower outer, upper inner, and lower inner quadrants. The tumor in this case is located in the upper outer quadrant. Inspecting the breast slices, areas of fibrosis can be identified, suggesting fibrocystic change. Moving on, the tumor is a whitish, irregular mass infiltrating surrounding fat. The tumor measures 3.5 centimeters from superior to inferior, 3 centimeters from anterior to posterior, and 2.5 centimeters from medial to lateral. The tumor also measures 0.7 centimeters from the posterior margin and 0.5 centimeters from the superior margin. We move on to sampling of the breast specimen. The benign regions will be sampled first before the tumor to avoid contamination of benign tissues with residual malignant tissues from the instruments. We will sample the nipple to assess for Paget's disease. We then proceed to sample normal breast tissue from quadrants of the breast uninvolved by the tumor. We will examine the slice of breast with the tumor closest to the margins. To orientate, the anterior margin covered by skin, superior margin inked green, and inferior margin inked yellow. We will take sections of the tumor with adjacent normal breast tissue at the superior and posterior margins. This is an example of how the tumor will be sampled with the posterior margin. The same process will be repeated for the superior margin. Lymph nodes from the axillary tail will be sampled as well. Here we have the sections on cassettes ready to be sent off for processing into microscopic sections. To recap, here's the nipple, normal breast tissue from the 3 uninvolved quadrants, tumor with superior and posterior margins, and a sample of pure tumor tissue. These slices, together with lymph nodes from the axillary tail, will be sent for processing to be evaluated microscopically for staging and grading purposes, which we will discuss in part 2 of this video.